Hello and welcome to Azure Wala YouTube channel. We are in part 19 of Microsoft Certified Associate series. So far we have covered up to question number 42. Now in this video we are going to see question number 43. So let's go. Question number 43. You have an Azure policy as shown in the following exhibit. So this is the snapshot from Azure portal for the policy. So let's zoom it out a little bit so everyone can say easily. Okay, now here we can see the scope. First thing is mentioned in the policy is scope, that is the policy is going to be applied on subscription 1 and the exclusion is mentioned in that. So under the subscription 1, Contoso resource group 1 is excluded, so this policy will not be applicable on this Contoso resource group resources. And the basics is like policy definition not allowed resource type, assignment name is also not allowed resource type, and this is the ID is given and description is nothing. We'll scroll down. It is assigned by admin 1 and the parameter is that not allowed resource type would be Microsoft SQL servers. So the Microsoft SQL server would not be allowed in subscription 1 except Contoso resource group. So if we try to understand this policy by having this diagram, that we do have one subscription 1 here which is having multiple resource groups, for example, and one of the resource group name is Contoso RG1 and that is having SQL server etc in it. So scope is applied on subscription 1. Exclusion zone where we can have the SQL server is Contoso RG1, and the policy which is mentioned is not allowed resource type is SQL server. So it is very clear that everywhere SQL server is not allowed. So if let's say we have multiple resource groups here, nowhere no one can install the SQL server except Contoso RG1. So let's back to the question. Here, what is the effect of the policy? So we will analyze the effect. You are prevented from creating Azure SQL server anywhere in subscription 1. Let's check in the diagram back. So anywhere, that includes Contoso as well, because anywhere is entire stuff or entire resource groups available in subscription. So we cannot say it's anywhere. It is only except Contoso RG1. So that statement is wrong. Let me clear this. That means that this statement is wrong. We can have SQL server created in Contoso RG1, so that's why this is wrong. The second one is you create Azure SQL server in Contoso RG1 only. Yes, this is right, because the exception is only the Contoso RG1, therefore we can create the SQL server in this resource group only. You are prevented from creating Azure SQL server in Contoso RG1 only. That is in fact reversed, means this is the only place Contoso RG1 where we can create it, not prevent it. So that is also okay. Option D is you can create Azure SQL server in any resource group within the subscription 1. That is also wrong. Not in any resource group except Contoso RG1 we cannot create anywhere, so that is also wrong. Okay, question number 44. You have an Azure subscription that contains resource shown in following table. You assign a policy to RG6 as shown in the following table. Okay, so that's the policy. So resource are shown in this table and policy is shown in this table. So what's the resource? We have RG6 which is a resource group, and it is having one VNet 1 in place, that is a virtual network that is lying in RG6. and it is the VNet1 is having a tag called department D1. So after having resource group 6 and VNet1 inside, on RG6 we apply the tag named R group with RG6 value. So that tag is applied after we created the RG6 group and VNet1. Next one is then thereafter we prepared a policy and applied on resource group itself. So the scope, if you see, the scope for this policy would be resource group 6. There is no exclusion on that, and the definition is mentioned here. I think this is not applied, this should be append. We'll look into it practically, and that is also going to be append to default value. And the parameters are mentioned that tag name would be label and tag value would be value1. To deploy a virtual network named VNet2 to RG6. So then after we decide to deploy, after having this policy in place, we decide to deploy a virtual network which is called VNet2, and keep in mind that VNet1 was already deployed before the policy, which tag apply to VNet1 and VNet2. So there should be some difference because policy was implemented later on. So let's see practically on Azure portal. We are in Azure portal now. We will go to resource group and we will create a resource group. We will name it RG6 as it was mentioned in the example, and there would not be any tag initially. So review and create, validation passed, create, and our resource group is ready. Now we'll create VNet1. So simply select Azure Service Virtual Network. Virtual network. Go create RG6, which is VNet1. Scroll down, IP addresses. We'll give here 24. We'll create a subnet. Subnet 1 10 0 0 0 24. Okay, so IP address range given, subnet, security, and here as per question we are supposed to give a tag which is name is the department and D1. So we'll quickly jump back. Name is department, that's going to be D1. Review, create, deployment under progress. So VNet1 is deployed. We can go to the resource. VNet1 is ready. We'll go back to resource group and back to the question. So we have finished creating resource group, finished creating VNet1, provided the tag. Up to this part we have completed the job. Now we need to apply a tag R group RG6 to resource group 6. So let's go back to our portal, remove this. Okay, here we need to provide the tag. So tag name is R group, RG6 is the value, and we'll apply. So tag is applied to resource group 6. Back to question, we have finished these two parts of this question. Now next one is we have to create a policy, and that policy would be applied on RG6, and it will have append tag. Here instead of apply we'll give append tag and its default value. So let's go to portal back. So we'll go to resource group 6. We need to provide a policy here. So we'll go to policies. We'll assign a policy here, and there is no exclusion, and we'll go to policy definition. In search we will type tag related policy. So we have append a tag and its value to resource. Add, and assignment name is also the same. There is no description, and we'll go to next. Here we have to provide the parameter, which is as per our question. Tag name is label and tag value is value 1. So label and value 1. We'll go next. We don't have to look into this. Next, and create. Our policy is created. So in this question we have completed this part as well. Now we need to deploy a virtual network named VNet2 to RG6. So let's create VNet2. So we are in resource group 6. We'll hit the create to create virtual network 2. Select this virtual virtual network. Create. Name is VNet2. IP address 24. We'll add the subnet 2 10.100.24. Security, no tag, any tag. As per question, we are just creating VNet2 in RG6. No tag is applied. So back to portal, creating virtual network without tag, running final validation, validated, create. So deployment is in progress. Deployment is complete. You can go to resource and confirm. Yes, it's working. So we have completed everything in question. Okay, which tag apply to VNet1 and VNet2? Answer, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Okay, so this is our answer area. We need to check in VNet1 what we are getting, which option we are getting. So let's confirm on the portal. Let's go to VNet1. We go to tag, and we see that only one tag is applied, which is department and D1. So this you can see here, only one tag is applied to VNet1. So here for VNet1 we have confirmed that only one tag, which is the department D1, is applied. That's due to that the VNet1 was created before the policy. That's the reason. Now the second one is VNet2. Let's confirm on the portal what we are going to see on VNet2. Let's go to VNet2 tags, and what we can see in VNet2 is that we have only policy tag is applied, which is the label and value 1, which was defined in the policy on the resource group level. So that is already automatically being applied to this resource. And while we were creating this VNet2, we were not having any tag in place. Back to question. So here on VNet2 we have confirmed that this one, and on VNet1 this one. But you may be wondering that why RG6 is not applied to here, because RG6 is applied to the resource group only. So, and that was a manual process. So in the question, if we see here, we have manually applied the RG6 before creating the policy. So on the resource we may have different tag like our group, but that is not will be inherited to resources. That will just be applied to resource group itself. So most of the places I have seen is that the students are getting confused. So as the answer, we have to be careful that resource may have different tag, and resource group may have different tags, and the policy is applicable whatever under that resource group. I hope this video was informative for you, and if you like this video, please do like, subscribe, and press the bell notification icon to receive the notifications. Also, please share with your friends. Thank you for watching. See you in next video.